Greetings, 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 everyone. Thank you all for tuning in and welcome to another edition of Female Barber Talk with Yah-Tay. Yes, I've switched locations. I'm just trying something new, but I think I'm going to go back to the old one or at least get my lighting together. But nonetheless, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm having a few technical difficulties, so my TikTok fam might be upset with me because some kind of way I lost the camera. But nonetheless, maybe I can go. No, I won't do that. I'll just go live after the fact on TikTok. But anywho, um, welcome everyone. Thank you all for joining. I am Yah-Tay the Barber Stylist, Yah-Tay Keaton, Yah-Tay the Barber Stylist, your host for Female Barber Talk with Yah-Tay. And this is tonight's this episode tonight is episode number 31. Can you believe it? I'm at 31 episodes. Still a process, but we're working it. And I'm grateful for those of you who are growing with me as I grow through the beginnings of starting and creating the flow for my podcast. Speaking of flow, don't forget to watch every first Sunday the Fade and Flow show with myself and Branded Barber. Let me see if I Branded Barber. Lady Faded. Lady Faded. I'm trying to figure out where is the oh man, y'all. Hang in here with me. Hang in here with me. I just got quite a bit I'm working through, but see, this is all part of the process. The hey, this is what it's all about. Well, I find it. Let me get back to this. But nonetheless, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. I'm Yah-Tay Keaton, also known as Yah-Tay the Barber Stylist. Tonight is episode number 31 of Female Barber Talk with Yah-Tay. And it is Before the Clippers, 5 things to know before starting barber school. So there are some things that I want to share with you as it relates to barber school or starting barber school, academy, institute, whatever you want to deem it, but it's still barber school nonetheless. I had some ideas after doing last week's episode on Barber School 101 and 201 from classroom clippers to career cuts. That's episode number 30. If you haven't seen it, seen it. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Check it out. So, with that being said, we're getting into tonight's topic. As you can see, I'm in a different location. I'm actually in my home studio, just trying out some different things with the light. But I think because I end up wearing black most of the time because I'm coming in off, leaving the shop, coming in to do the podcast. So I just kind of, keep on my little uniform here, so that I can get right into the podcast. But be that as it may, I was trying to see if this setting would work up against, this backdrop. But I actually have a window here, but I don't know how well, that a film. But anywho, y'all, I'm gonna be trying out some new things until I, just get in a space where, okay, this is the setting. But I guess with anything, you grow, you expand, you change, you set up, just like any setting. So that's kind of where I am, looking at what works. I had some suggestions made, so I'm actually trying them out. So you don't know if it don't work. You don't know if it works unless you try it. So I'm trying it to see what works, see how I need to make some additional adjustments. I got a light on this side, but I don't think it's bright enough to make that separation unless I lean like this here, and you see the back of the chair. But we're gonna keep working it out. So To get started, I want to welcome everyone who are tuning in. If you're joining us live, thank you for taking time out of your evening to join this podcast. If you are catching this on the replay, I want to say thank you for taking time out of your day to replay this podcast. Is my hope, is my prayer. I hope that this is very informative, more specifically to those who are considering barbering, who are thinking about barbering, or master hair care, such as myself. I'm a barber stylist, i.e., master hair care specialist. So this is for you. I'm going to share some points. I got a few videos that I want to share as I go through and give you a few points and explain some of the things that I want to share with you within those points. But I got a few things that I want to share with you. So once again, welcome to episode 31 of Female Barber Talk with Yah-Tay. I'm Yah-Tay, Navy veteran. I'm a Navy veteran. I'm a certified life coach. I'm a barber stylist, and I am an award-winning author of A Heritage of Hair. And I'm also a trained paraprofessional with over 20 years. I guess you could say over 20 years. This year made 20. So we going slowly moving into the 21st year of experience servicing children of all abilities and, basically working in the community. So if you've been thinking about stepping into the world of barbering, whether it's through a high school trade program, or you're enrolling in your local barber academy, barber institute, or barber program, this episode is for you. So today I'm going to be talking about 5 things that I consider important. And I know, you've heard 3 things, 5 things. You've heard a lot of different things out there in reference to if you're considering this field as a career. But I'm going to share with you 5 things that I believe are important. It's going to be from my personal experience because I've gone through this. I've had to think about it, all those things. So I'll break down 5 things that I feel that you need to know before starting barber school. These aren't just, like I said, these aren't just textbook tips. They are things that I've experienced, some from my own journey, that I think could probably, save you a little time or make you or encourage you to think a little more deeply, a little more intently about a decision, and possibly, you know, save time, save money, and any frustration that you might have as it relates to this. So let's jump into it. The first one is know your why before you enroll. And I'll get into the reasons for that because y'all know it's going to cost you time, it's going to cost you money, it's going to cost you to begin this career. But know your why before you enroll. See, barbering requires more than just passion. It requires passion and not just interest. Okay, you got to have more than interest. To interest is not going to keep you. When those days of you waiting and building, building your clientele, before you get fully booked and busy, it's going to require some passion and some patience and not just a mere interest in the field. So the first thing that I want to share with you or ask you, and this is to have you think about your why. Do you want to create a steady career with flexibility and income potential? And the reason why I say flexibility, because you can be flexible with your schedule. You are uh, your boss, unless you are a W-2 and you're working for someone. And even as a 1099, which I was at one point, You still got to be careful with that. And I think I might do a segment on 1099 versus W-2, because that's a big challenge, especially if you don't know the rules and regs as it relates to what is a true 1099 and what is a W-2. Because being in some environments, those lines can get blurry. I'll just say that. So do you want to create a steady career with flexibility and income potential? With barbering, master hair care, or anything within the beauty industry, or whatever you choose, and I'm speaking solely for this industry because I'm in it, you have great income potential, not just behind the chair, not just providing the service, but offering products and doing classes. And there are a lot of different ways that you can earn various income potential, but you can become a six-figure barber behind the chair. It takes having patience, it takes skill, and it takes knowing your goals and what it is that you want. But more importantly, it takes caring for and servicing your clients, because your clients are the ones that are going to help you make that six figure. But nonetheless, it offers flexibility with your schedule, depending on, how you're working it, and endless income potential. The next thing I want to ask you as it relates to your why is, are you drawn to the arts and creativity of cutting and styling hair? So if you're drawn to that, then that could be one of your whys, or a combination of your why. Are you creative? Do you like cutting and styling hair? Are you passionate about it? Not just the interest, because like I said, when you have those moments in the beginning, when you're building your clientele, it's going to take more than interest. It's going to take a passion. It's going to take knowing that you're doing what you are called to do, what you desire to do, what you've been longing to do. All of those things is going to take that. All right. So the second part of this why is, are you drawn to the arts? Because barbering is an art and it is a science, which is why you got practicum and theory. So it's an art and a science to it. But nonetheless, are you drawn to the arts, and are you creative? The creativity of cutting and styling hair. So that's something you may want to consider with your why. And I'm only picking out a few. There are many other whys that you may want to consider before enrolling into a barbering program. And the next one that I want to share is, are you motivated by serving your community and building client relations? Because at the end of the day, the beginning of the day, end of the day, all day, it's going to be about where you're placed in the community, because you're more than likely going to be attracting individuals from within that particular community where you're located, and also your client relations. Because of the type of work that we do as service providers, your clients, your relationship with your clients and maintaining those relationships is what going to help you not only build your brand, build your income potential, and you be able to live the life that you envision for yourself. So serving in that community where the barbershop is located, and building client relationships, because without them relationships, there's no career, because you need people to service, and servicing those individuals, oftentimes they're going to come from the local community, or the community in which your barbershop is located. Unless you got individuals that may not be directly in that community, where you've shared what you do while you're out and about, working out at the gym, shopping, out eating, and you're sharing what you do, passing out business cards or whatever it may be, you are going to be part of that community. Your business is going to be part of that community. And the second part is building those client relationships. So in thinking about your why, you can create a steady career with flexibility and income potential. And then, are you drawn to the arts? And are you creative with cutting and styling hair? And another part of that, as I mentioned before, is, are you motivated by serving the community in which the shop is located and building client relationships? So I'm going to say this. If you're not a people person, you really don't like people, you might want to think about this as a career. Seriously. You got to be able to communicate with them. You got to be able to build relationships, have rapport with people. You got to be able to communicate with them. Okay. So those are some things of know your why before you enroll. Because like I said, barbering requires passion, not just an interest, because that interest is not going to hold you when you're trying to build your clientele when you first get out, unless you have clientele coming from school. And if you do, that's all good. That's great. But nonetheless, those are some things that I'm sharing with you as it relates to your why. So think about your why before you enroll. The second one, and this is big, and that's understanding the commitment. It's going to take commitment. Depending on if you are in a high school program, some programs are 2 years. They normally go junior and senior year. Some may be 3, where they get you 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. And then if you're not in a high school program, or high school program that's connected to some kind of vocation, then you may be within your local community. And those programs usually run, or tend to run, between 10 and 18 months. And it depends on if you're full or part-time. Of course, if you're part-time, it's going to take you longer. Whereas if you're full-time, it's not going to take you as long. And the reason I say between 10 and 18 months, not only is it if you're going full or part-time, but also what are the state requirements for your barbering program. There are different hours for different states. Here in Columbia, South Carolina, is 1,500 hours. I think North Carolina is 1,528, 1,530, 1,525, somewhere around in there. But each state is different. I've heard as much as 1,000, 12,000, 15,000. So the number of hours needed to complete the program varies by state. So if you're interested and you're watching this other than the state of South Carolina, then you want to check your state's LLR, a licensing board for the barber and beauty program within your state, to see what the requirements are. And I'm sure if you are considering it, you've probably already done your research. The school that you are intending to go to, they've already shared with you how many hours you need. But whatever the case may be, you still want to understand the commitment, what it's going to take. Why? Because it's more than just cutting hair. It's hours of learning and practice. So you're going to be learning and putting what you've learned to practice. So it's a real commitment. It's a real commitment. So the first, like I said, is a high school program can run 2 years, maybe 3 years, depending on how early they start. If it's sophomore year, is 3, junior year is 2, and of course your local barber school, a local barber academy, or your local institute for barbering and or master hair care, if they offer that, is going to vary. The next thing kind of go hand in hand, but attendance and punctuality. Attendance and punctuality, being on time, your attendance directly affects how long you going to be in school as well. But more importantly, it's going to affect your graduation time, but graduation and your licensing. So if you're not in attendance and you're not punctual and getting there in a timely manner so you can get everything you need, it's going to affect your ability to graduate on time and you ultimately obtaining your license. Because if you're not in school, well, if you're not punctual, you're not in school, you're missing hours. Then you get into making them up, but that extends your time. But let's go back to being punctual in your attendance because it does affect your graduation time and also your licensing. Can't even get it out. But it affects that because if you're not in school, you're not getting your hours, basically. So if you're not getting your hours, you're not accumulating the time to put you in position where you can graduate in the time frame of the program. Okay. And if you're not doing that, then of course you're not getting your hours to be able to sit for state board because you got to have all of that before the school will even submit your information. So go figure. It goes hand in hand. And the last part of this, understanding commitment, and I'm going to show you all a video as it relates to this, is it's hands-on work. It's you get the book and you apply. So it's hands-on work. Expect to be on your feet. Expect to be, busy, and expect to do that for long stretches. Okay, it's barbering. It's master hair care. In this instance, it's cosmetology. So expect to be on your feet and know that it's going to be hands-on. So with that, you want to understand the commitment. So once again, the timing, how long it's going to take. If you're in high school, maybe 2 to 3 years, depending on when you start. And if you're at your local barber academy, institute, or program locally, it's going to take anywhere from 10 to 18 months. And another thing that I want to mention, um, some states may have master hair care, some states may not. In the state of South Carolina, I could take master hair care under the barbering entity, and braiding is also under the barbering entity as well. So for those of you who aren't aware, don't know what a master hair care is, we're similar to that as a cosmetologist, just on the barbering side, and we've had extensive clipper training. So basically, I can do anything a cosmetologist can do, except for acrylic nails and makeup, because that's not part of our curriculum on the barbering side. However, most of the fundamentals like relaxing, perming, and for those of you who don't know, relaxers relax our hair. Perms curls our hair. So I can do that, color, all of those things. So that is under the barbering entity. And another thing that's different from me and a cosmetologist, I can use a razor, whereas a cosmetologist razor has to be guarded and it's only for uh, uh, the feathering and using it on the hair, cutting the hair. So those are, I'm holding up four. Those are three things that I wanted to share with you. And I still ain't take this thing down, y'all. Hold on. Let me remove that and go ahead and put up this first video. Now it's about 2 minutes, but it's very, very informative. And I want to share this one with y'all if you don't mind. Hold on.
It's your boy Dre. As you already know,
This
I
is
am a
Dre.
barber and I've been a barber for 17 years. I own two barbershops and I want to help you get started with your barber career. This is what helped me, and I believe that what is going to help you. So these are a few steps you can start today, tomorrow, next week, but you can start them. So, first thing, before you do anything, before you sign up for school, before you go and Spend your money on clippers, building your clipper arsenal. Before you do any of those things, these are the few things that I need you to do. Step one, I need you to go to your local barbershop, and I need you to ask the owner of that barbershop if it is okay if you sit and watch for a few hours. You need to be able to see if you really can tolerate you watching people cut hair all day long without you doing any of it. That's step one. Step two, go on YouTube. I did this for days, weeks, months at a time before I even decided to start cutting hair. You need to be able to watch tutorials over and over and over and over. Countless videos. You need to dedicate countless time to watching, learning, watching and learning nothing but barber videos, nothing but haircut instructional videos. Step three, which I think is one of the most important steps, find a mentor. Find somebody that you admire. Find somebody that you love their skill set, you admire their talent, you love how they are as a barber, and ask them if they wouldn't mind giving you some advice, giving you some tips, mentoring you. Maybe you go apprentice under them in the future. Hopefully they will want to take you up under their wing. But I'll be honest with you, if you're going to do that, make sure you're very serious about what you're asking them, because a lot of barbers don't like people who say they want to do stuff and don't end up doing it. All right? So these are 3 simple steps that can help you get started. They're free, they're easy, and you can do them. Come on back for part 2, and I'm going to keep teaching you on how to get started and how to become a barber. All right? I'll see you later. I love you.
All right. So the first thing that I want to point out with that particular video with Dre is go to a local barbershop. That's important. And it's going to go back to interest. If you got interest in it, you want to put yourself in the environment and see if this is something that you really want to do. Go to find a local barbershop that will allow you to come in and just kind of check out and see what a day in the life of a barber is like, or in the barbershop, I should say. What is it like in the barbershop? And as he said, watch. You'll get to see a little bit of everything. See how they interact with the clients, see how clients, interact with their barbers, see how an average day goes, what is it that they do or don't do for that matter. But that is a good suggestion to check it out. It's gonna, I think it'll solidify if that's something you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Many of you might have come up in the industry and you know how it goes, so you already know your why. But for those of you who haven't had any exposure, try that and comment and let me know what you think about it. The second thing is watch videos while you're preparing. If you've already made the decision that you're going to enroll and do that, this will help you. Now, I got to say this. When you get in barber school, I'm going to save that. Just watch the videos to expand your mind, give you some insight, because you're going to learn. All right. I'm a little leery about it because sometimes the YouTube stuff can backfire for students who are in school. I've heard it, I've seen it, I've heard instructors talk about it where, the students are in school to learn, but yet they're comparing everything to what they see on the YouTube video. But anywho, just use it as a tool to get you prepared. I'll just say that. Use it as a tool to prepare you for what's to come. So you're going to sit and watch with the barbershop, and then you're going to watch and learn, because you can learn some things in YouTube. And then the third thing he said is find a mentor. Find a mentor. But as he mentioned, you want to be serious about that. You don't want to have a mentor and say, hey, yeah, just to say it, or get one just to say you got one. But you want to be actively engaged with that mentor and maximize the relationship. All right. That's all I say about that. So for understanding the commitment, once again, it's going to take some time. It can be 2 to 3 years if you're in a high school program, 10 to 18 months, depending on if you're full or part-time, and what program you're taking and what state you're in as to how many hours is required to complete the program. And then attendance and punctuality, which that directly affects your graduation and your licensing. Whether you get them hours to even sit for state board, it's going to impact that. So if you don't show up, expect delays, expect not getting your hours in a timely manner. Okay, expect not finishing in a timely manner if you're not punctual and you don't attend school. It's going to hurt you in the long run. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more when we get to the next point. And then lastly, hands-on, be prepared to, be on your feet and standing and, stuff like that. The third point is be prepared to invest. And what I mean by invest in your time and invest in your money. Whether you get a scholarship or is a minimum fee like some of our programs here, basically what the students are paying for, if they're going through a high school trade program, they can pay anywhere from $650 to maybe $700-800. And that's it for the whole 2 to 3 years of the program, unless they're updating their tools, adding more tools to their arsenal, things along those lines, buying personalized stuff, capes, and things along those lines. Then yes, they're going to spend some additional money. However, like I mentioned in last week's podcast, when you get in school and you start taking clients with the high schoolers, they'll make that money back probably within the first year, depending on how they are with the clientele or the individuals that come through and utilize the school program. So that's one. The next thing is, dang, I forget, money. I was talking about the money part of it, investing. So I just lost my train of thought. Anywho, barber schooling is an educational investment in your future. Whether you go OJT, whether you go during the school year at a high school program, or you go through your local barber institute, academy, or a school. So those schools can run you anywhere from a couple $1,000 up to, I paid when I went through, and this was just 5 years ago, $21,600. Yeah, yeah. And the barbering program at the time, I think, was 18,000. And our kit, which included uh, everything. I should, if I had a list, it included a lot of stuff. We got uniforms, we got smocks. As a matter of fact, I just had this embroidery taken off. It had my school embroidery on there and my name. I just had it taken off so I can reuse, recycle, and reuse it for myself. But nonetheless, it comes with your tools, your supplies, and everything you need to be successful within the program. Your books, all of that stuff. But nonetheless, it can get up to it can it can cost you some money. I just say that, which goes back to you want to know your why and you want to understand the commitment because it's going to cost you some time and money. So, as I mentioned, tuition range from a few thousand to over 20,000 for some. It really just depends on where you are. And the other investment, I started to talk about this too. You'll need tools, you'll need clippers, you'll need trimmers, you'll need shears, you'll need combs. You'll probably use the school capes. Some schools give you a cape within your kit, and also sanitation supplies, amongst other things. But basically, those are what you're going to really need: your clippers, your trimmers, your shears, your combs. Like I said, some schools give a cape, but oftentimes the students use the capes at the school. And then, of course, your sanitation supplies. And additional costs that you may not think about, but I'm going to share with you because it's some costs that I incurred when I was in school as well and prepping to get out of school. So the additional cost is going to be for licensing, state exam. So one, when you finish the program, that application that you got to submit, you got to pay for that. The state board exam, you got to pay for that. So to take the practicum and the theory, I want to say my practicum was like 50 and then one was 60, or it's under $100. So let's just say, for sake of saying, it was $100 for one and $100 for another. I'm just using those numbers just to let you know. So you got to pay for state exams, and you pay for your practicum, and you pay for your theory. If you don't pass, guess what? You got to pay for it again. Okay, you don't have to pay for the application again, but you do have to pay to retake the test again. And also, continuing education. That's something that you'll pay for. In our state, the state of South Carolina, we're not required at this point to do continuing education. However, I do go to expos, I do go to shows, I do take classes. I just recently invested in an advanced braiding class for myself. Um, but that's something that I did on my own. But that's an example of continuing education. Even though I know how to braid, I wanted and still do want to continue to fine tune my skills. And the young lady, shout out to Gracie Denise, of a beauty academy. Uh, oh, a braiding academy. Be brave. Be brave. Braiding academy is the school that I went in for advanced training with her on some knotless braids and some feed-in braids. But I take a few classes with her. I plan on to take some more because there's some other things that I want to fine tune. But in saying that, that's part of my continuing ed to enhance my skill, to learn more so that I can in turn bring that back and use it for my clients and with my clients and on my clients. So continuing education is also an additional cost with that. And as I mentioned, in the state of South Carolina, barbers at this point and master hair care aren't required to use, not to use, to have, let me take that down, to have continuing education at this point. Some states, like in North Carolina, I know once you become a barber, you do your year of apprenticeship, then you have to go back and take another exam for to become a master barber. After your apprenticeship year, they have you go back and take an additional practicum. So every state is different. If you're listening to this or watching this from a different state, as I mentioned earlier, just look at your state regulations, your LLR board, to see what is required, what is needed as it relates to your particular field of study. So once again, we don't have to take it, but that would be an additional cost for you. So to recap, the investment of it, barber school is an educational investment in your future, and you're going to keep on investing, especially if you want to elevate your skills and expand your knowledge so you in turn share that with your clients. So tuition range from a few thousand up to 20,000. I told y'all how much I paid. And then again, you have your tools, your clippers, your trimmers, your shears, combs, capes, sanitation items, and many other things that you might want to use for your station. So there might be some other things that you may want to invest in for your station, or to have as part of the tools that you feel that you need. And then once again, the additional cost of licensing, state exams, and also your continuing education. and look at your state board and see what's required. What do you need to maintain your license biannually? I know it's biannually for us, so I can't speak for every state, but maintaining our license takes it biannually, and oftentimes continuing education goes or coincides with that. So the next one is develop the right mindset. This is going to be very, 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 very important. And I want to share this video with you before I get in my points as it relates to this, but I want to share this with you all. So hang tight.
Think again. First things first, most schools start with sanitation, barber laws, and the...
I'm going to rewind that.
If
there
you think you're walking into barber school and cutting on day one, think again. First things first, most schools start with sanitation, barber laws, and the basics before you even touch the clippers. You'll also start learning about different hair types, skin condition, and tools. A good barber isn't just about fades, it's about knowing how to handle every head. And let's talk about time management. Barber school isn't like high school, you're learning a trade, so take it seriously. Show up on time, pay attention, and practice every chance you get.
Okay, so with this one here, he talked about the things that you're going to learn. You ain't going to just go to school and jump in and think you're going to start fading and cutting and doing all of that stuff. And the reason why I brought that in at develop the right mindset, which is point number 4, develop the right mindset, because you're going to need the right mindset. Even if you've been cutting, I don't know, cutting out your garage or cutting out your house, or you've been cutting, you're going to have to develop the right mindset to be in school. Be open, avail yourself to what they are going to share with you, all right? Because if you don't, you're going to cause hardship for yourself and be in a lot of conflict, either within yourself or between you and the person who's providing the instruction. And besides, you're paying your money to go to the school. Why don't you just be open and learn what they got to teach you? Okay. So he talked about mindset. He talked about being on time. And he also shared with you some of the things that you're going to learn, sanitation and, learning about the history. You're going to learn about all of that because it is important. Okay. So what I want to share with you as it relates to develop the right mindset, first, I want to say your success is going to depend on your discipline, your professionalism, and your ability to be coachable, or your coachability. Okay. So those are going to be 3 key areas for success for you in school, but you got to develop the right mindset. And one of those things is, I said this in the last podcast, but I'm going to say this again. And instead of using criticism, I'm going to use comments, because I think construct is to build, and criticism, that's like you building and tearing down. Anywho, constructive comments. Take constructive comments without being discouraged. The truth of the matter is, you don't know everything. We don't know everything, and you're there to learn. You're there to learn the techniques and the tools and the things that you need to be successful. Not just to, pass the state board. That's ultimate. But you got to be able to take those fundamental skills that you'll learn and apply them and use them when you get out into the field, because you're going to need them. All right. Not just to pass the state board, but you're going to need to know about that as well. So you're going to have to be able to take constructive comments without getting discouraged, or without allowing it to tear you down or break you down. Prayerfully, you don't get someone that tries to do that to you. But nonetheless, be open to taking constructive comments. The next thing is, and I talked about this the last time, and I'm even find out what I said on that as it relates to this too, but show up dressed and groom like a professional barber. Okay. That's important. That's important, which brings me back to, remember I said look the part in the last one, look the part. Even as a student, your appearance tell people that you're serious. So here again, you want to show up dressed and groomed, looking like a professional barber. Care what you say. We're in the image business. Your client's going to be looking at you. And even the clients that come into the school where you are, they're going to be looking at you too. Yeah, they're coming in and they're getting a discounted price, but they still are looking for you to act in a professional manner, carry yourself in a professional manner, and look like you barber. Look like you a master hair care, okay? So show up dressed and groomed like you a professional. Your presentation matters. That's all I'm going to say. It matters whether you think so or not. And the last one is treat school like it's your first job. Treat school like you in the barbershop. Treat school, well, some of y'all might not know what it's like to be in a barbershop, but treat it like it's a job. Show up on time, be dressed, be ready to go, be prepared, all of those things, because in the end, it's going to help you. It really is. All right. And not only take school seriously, but every client, even though they're in the school, is a real client. Okay. Every client is a real client, not only because they're human beings, and they're there actually to help you. They're there to support you. They're there to support the school and not just, get a haircut, I hope. But nonetheless, take it seriously. Every client is a real client. All right. So that's helping you to develop your right mindset. And I want to share now. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and share this one too. So check this video out, and we'll talk about this in
Or
a
if
few
you're a
minutes.
new barber. Number one, just show up. That's literally what my instructor.
Okay, I'm gonna rewind that. I just said that, right?
All right, y'all. Here's 3 tips if you're thinking about going to barber school or if you're a new barber. Number one, just show up. That's literally what my instructor told me the other day. I've been in school for almost 3 months now. She told me, she said, half the battle is just showing up. Show up, do the right thing, show up on time, be professional. Your instructors are going to appreciate that and they're going to invest more into you. Number two, don't compare yourself to other barbers in your school or other barbers who aren't in school. Because
Big
that's
no
one
no.
thing I had a problem with. I low-key still have this problem, I'm not going to lie. But you will drive yourself mad comparing yourself to people who've been cutting hair longer than you or can just get things down faster than you. It's a process and it's a skill that takes time to learn. And you will learn through trial and error. I can say this because I'm still learning. All right, number three. Cut hair on your own time if you can. No matter how small the pocket window is to fit somebody in, try to get that practice in. Maybe a little bit of money. Me being a full-time barber student, I work every day after school, but I'm able to cut hair on the weekends. So if you can fit those personal clients in, it's gonna make working in the shop a lot easier. If this makes enough views, I'll make a part 2 if y'all want.
All right, so I'm gonna rewind this here, y'all.
All right, y'all. Here's 3 tips if you're thinking about going to barber school or if you're a new barber. Number one, just show up. That's literally what my instructor told me the other day. I've been in school for almost 3 months now. She told me, she said, half the battle is just showing up. Show up, do the right thing, show up on time, be professional. Your instructor.
Okay, showing up, being on time, be professional. You're going to get that. Your instructor or instructors are going to see that you're serious and they're going to be willing to pour into you more because you are doing what is needed to show your interest, be on time, and just get what you need and some, because they're going to pour into you. Just think about, just take this, envision this. You're the only person showing up. Folks are late, coming in late, not showing up, but you're there. They're going to pour into you. They're going to pour into you. All right. So show up, be professional, be ready to be poured into. The
Are going to
second point
appreciate
here.
that and they're going to invest more into you. Number two, Don't compare yourself to other barbers in your school or other barbers who aren't in school. Because that's one thing I had a problem with. I low-key still have this problem, I'm not going to lie. But you will drive yourself mad comparing yourself to people who've been cutting hair longer than you, or can just get things down faster than you.
Okay. This is big, especially for new barbers. And it's also important for beginner barbers who've been out. You can't compare yourself. You shouldn't. I'm going to just say you shouldn't compare yourself. Like he said, they've been cutting for years. You don't know how much additional time they've been putting in to hone in on their skills, and you can't compare. Y'all remember when Fiona was on a few episodes back, and she talked about her mentor who got 20 some years in and she only had a few years in? That would be crazy to compare herself to her 2 or 3 years to somebody that got 10, 20 years in the game. It's no way. It's not equal. You can't compare yourself to them, period. So don't stress yourself out about it. Don't put that weight on you and trying to compare yourself. Cutting and learning and developing the skills for cutting is a process, and it's going to take time. Like I said in the last one, ask, practice, repeat. Well, you're going to need to be doing a lot of reps to build up your skill set in order to get to that next level or get to the level where you envision yourself. And by comparing yourself to other individuals, you're just setting yourself up. You're putting a lot of added pressure on you. You're just putting too much on you. Okay? You can't compare yourself to somebody else. All right? Bottom line, just don't compare. Don't put that stress on you like that. Let's go to
The
the next
process,
one.
and it's a skill that takes time to learn. And you will learn through trial and error. I can say this because I'm still learning. All right, number 3, cut hair on your own time if you can. No matter how small the pocket window is to fit somebody in, try to get that practice in. Maybe a little bit of money. Me being a full-time barber student, I work every day after school. But
Okay. Getting the practice in. Family, friends, whomever you can get. Volunteer, cut for free. Some people be willing to tip you, but whatever the case may be, um, cut on your own time. Try to get that extra time in, because what that does increases your repetition. It helps to get the mechanics down. It helps you to be able to see your mistakes, as you're going to make mistakes. I still make mistakes, and it's going to be like that. But nonetheless, you want to get that practice in, because that's going to help you to, I won't say, I guess you can say, develop your skill a little bit faster. With repetition, it's going to help you to get through that process, but it's still a process. You still got to go through it. Unless you're practicing and getting in the mechanics, uh, um, maneuvering your arm, or maneuvering your wrist, and getting that down. I don't care how many videos you watch, it's not going to be perfected until you start doing it. And the more you do it, the better you get. And depending on how much you do it, you could progress along the beginning to, skilled barber fairly decently. Okay. But it's going to take you developing the right mindset and putting in the time. And that's what it's going to take. So once again, with point number 4, develop the right mindset. And once again, your success in school and in the field is going to take discipline, your ability to be coachable and professional. All right. So the last point that I have is plan for life after graduation. Whatever we mean by that. School is just the beginning. Think ahead about your next step, even while you're in. Don't get ahead or get too far ahead, but you do want to begin to think about your next step after graduation, after taking state board. What are you going to do? Where are you going to be? And here are some things that I want to share with you, because remember, school is just the beginning. And if your program is only 10 to 18 months, that's going to go by. If you're still in high school, it's still going to go by fairly quickly, but it just won't go by as fast, depending on if you're a junior and senior program, if your school has a sophomore, junior, and senior program as it relates to barbering or master hair care. So with that, you will want to, these are some things depending on where you are with it, okay? Rent a chair, work in a commission shop, or open your own business. Here in South Carolina, as I mentioned previously, a barber cannot go out on their own and, well, I shouldn't say that, because some probably do. So you still can rent a chair, even an apprentice, but you still got to be on the licensed barber, because you got to get your apprenticeship hours for that year. They're going to sign off on your paperwork. They're going to, do all of that for you, vouching that you've been doing what you said you was going to do for the year. So here, you can rent a chair. You can work in a commission shop, for which I did, or you can open your own business. And again, if you did decide to do that, open your own business, you're gonna have to have somebody in there with you who's licensed. And I'm just saying this. I wouldn't personally do it coming straight out. Well, let me take that back. I did have a business. It wasn't in this, but I had a business. I still have a business. But for the sake of the material, renting a chair or booth rental, working in a commission shop as a 1099, because if you're on commission, unless you W-2 and still get some type of commission from your productivity and product sales, then that's a different story. But if you are in a commission shop, you more than likely are 1099, which is different from a W-2, or you can open your own business. And again, in our state, you got to have someone with a license that's over you. If y'all know something different, put it in the comments and let me know. All right. But nonetheless, that's one thing in terms of thinking ahead for your next step. You're going to booth rent, you're going to go commission. And I'm going to tell you, I personally would go to a commission shop or go in an environment where you're not having to deal with the overhead right now, especially if you're new in the industry, you're new in the career, you haven't had any previous exposure, unless you've been a business owner and you kind of know the ins and outs of that. But as a young person coming into it, just to get your feet wet, there are several advantages to doing it, depending on where you're located and what their business model is. You'll have clientele that'll come in, i.e. walk-ins. You still have to develop your own clients and create your own clientele. Look to get your own clientele. But in that, you'll have opportunities for walk-ins and walk-ins to become your clients. And you won't have the overhead. They supply you with certain things, not your clippers, but they'll probably supply you with some neck strips, barbicide, and shampoo, depending on if they got a product line or whatnot. But nonetheless, it just takes a lot of stress off. It allows you to really just get in and hone in on your skill. For those of you who want to jump out there, go for it. But that's just something that I've done in my career early on, starting out, a W-2 and a 1099. to be exact. I was both, even at one time. If you read my book, then you already know that. So that's one. And the next one in part 5 of Plan for Your Life After Graduation is build your portfolio of your work while still in school. And right now you can use Instagram. You post your stuff up there. It's not like back in the day where you actually have a portfolio where you flip through pictures. You might have a lookbook, but nonetheless, build your portfolio. And I still do that. I take pictures, of different things for my clients and stuff. Y'all might have, ooh, I ain't sending that. Hold on, let me get in the right one. But I just want to show y'all in my log, I still collect pictures. See here? I still collect pictures, different angles, short video clips. And I also, in my phone, which this is my business line, let me show you this. So I group them in albums. So say I meet somebody that want to see my lock, my lock work. So I can come to my phone, come to my section, and go to all my lock work and show them some of my locks at different stages, whether it's starting locks, a retie, styling them here, a cut in locks, because I do haircuts as well with my lock service. Hey, Yah-Tay, thank you for joining. I greatly appreciate you tuning in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Tonight we're talking about, let me do a quick recap. So tonight is we're talking about 5 things to know before starting barber school, before the clippers. It's entitled Before the Clippers, 5 things to know before starting barber school. And I'm actually on point number 5, getting ready to wind it down. You say that's smart to group them that way. Yes. Thank you. Yes, yes. So here again, building your portfolio. I group my pictures so I can get to them fairly quickly. So I got 2-strand twists. That's another one. I got 2-strand twists. I'll just name a few. Locks, 2-strand twists, box braids or plaits if you're old school, cornrows. I do have a section for haircuts, extensions, comb coils, and color picks, because I do some coloring as well. And then I got a few natural hair, just showing the variations of our hair. So I got, stuff where the hair is actually out, so you can see. And I got video clips, different things like that. But nonetheless, I group my pictures together so that I can access them fairly quickly. If I'm out conversating with someone, I'm passing out a card. If someone asks, do you do this, you do that? Yes, this is what I do, or no, I don't do that. So I have that situated where I can share my portfolio via phone, or I tell them, go to Yah-Tay the Barber Stylist on Instagram, and you can see some of my work there. And I do share with them. I'm getting better at posting, because y'all see I got 1,000 pictures in here. This phone and my personal one got 1,000 pictures. So it's just getting it up. I need an assistant. That's what I need. All right. So the second point was build a portfolio of your work while you're still in school. And the last point in this one is start networking with barbers, instructors, and potential clients while you're in, like now. Start doing that. You never know what barber knows somebody who knows somebody that knows somebody that might be able to get you in somewhere. Your instructors, I still call on my instructors, especially Miss Davis. Mr. T running the school, so I try not to bother him a whole lot. But I do stay in communication with my instructors. I ask questions, I check in on stuff, and I say, you remember when I was doing this? So I said I wasn't going to do that, and this, that, and the other. So I do keep in contact with them, because many of them have extensive connections within the community. and they know, they know it. Not only know the skill, they know other barbers in the industry, and they can help you make that connection as well. And potential clients, when you're out, you're shopping, you're eating. I find that I compliment people on their cuts, genuine cuts. Now I got to tell y'all this beforehand. I really wasn't looking at haircuts like that. But now that I've gone to school and I've been trained, I look at haircuts. I look at braids. I look at all of those things, but haircuts in particular, I look at if it's blended, if I can see the line, all of those things. I look at that. Did they taper the back out? Did they do a round neck? Did they do a square neck? You know, yeah, I look at all of those things as it relates because it helps me to spot different things. I do give genuine compliments. Sometimes by making a sheer compliment, and I let them know I'm a barber. So I'm not just saying that just to be saying it, or I'll compliment them and say, hey, your barber's bad. Your barber did a great job on your cut, you know, and I use that as an opportunity to sell myself too, if that be the case. Let them know what I do, where I'm located, all of those things. So uh, your potential for clients is right now. Your potential for clients is wherever you are. That's your potential for client. If you're in Walmart, you in the mall, you in, the line at the ice cream shop, you in the line in the grocery store or wherever, it's always potential for a client. Keep your cards on you. I do. I keep them on me. All right. I'm always handing them out. Okay. People ask questions. If you have a question or you need a backup, just give me a ring. I got you. And my clients know that I got them. So I want to give a big shout out to all my clients who have supported me over the years and who are still continuing to support me. I love y'all and I appreciate you. And when they're in my chair, y'all, I give them shouts out. I thank them. I do things to show my appreciation. Like I tell you, I had a young man, I did his locks a couple weeks ago. And I just said, I throw in your cut. He got a lock retwist. My lock retwist only costs X amount of dollars, but a lock retwist and haircut costs a few more X amount of dollars. But in that, I was like, you know what? You've been supporting me, and I appreciate that. This is my gift to you. I got a young man, I do his beard trim. You know what? Sometimes I go in and trim his hair up too. Make it look nice. And you know what? That's because I appreciate you. So potential for clients is now, is always now. Everywhere you are is potential for client. So in this last one, plan for your life after graduation, because like I said before, school is just the beginning. You want to think ahead to your next steps, okay? And once again, if you're going to rent a chair, you're going to work in a commission shop, you're going to start your own business. All of those are things that you want to begin to think about as your next steps. And what do you need to do to prepare for your next steps? Building your portfolio. I share it with you all. I have a portfolio on my phone. I keep them categorized and I take pictures at various stages for my clients. Beginning, middle, end. Under the dryer, foaming the head, me parting, sectioning the hair out, me blow drying the hair. As a matter of fact, let me show y'all this one. So hold on. I got one here. Let me see if I find it real quick. Using the new hooded dryer. Rev Air dryer. Okay. So I take it at different stages. You see that? Different stages. But nonetheless, Build your portfolio while you're still in school, because that's going to become important. People are going to want to see your work or send them to your social media pages, wherever you post your work. And lastly is start networking with barbers, other master hair care, your instructors, and potential clients now. All right. That's all I have for this episode. I'm going to do a quick recap and share these points again. We just talked about the 5 things to know before starting barber school. I've given you 5 things. I've showed you a few videos. If you missed those, rewind it and you'll be able to get it. Comment if there's something else that you got questions about or you thought. Let me ask Yah-Tay this. Well, pop it in the comments. With that, the first one is know your why before you enroll. It's very important to know your why, because in the end, that's going to keep you going. Barbering requires passion, not just interest. And we've already talked about some of the things that you may want to consider with your why before enrolling. The second point is understand the commitment. It's going to be a commitment. And it's more than just cutting hair, it's hours of learning and practicing. Okay. So understand the commitment you are about to embark on. All right. Because it's going to take time. And it's going to take a lot of practice. And the next step is prepare, be prepared to invest, not just in the school itself, but building your clipper case, building your arsenal, continuing education. And like I mentioned, South Carolina doesn't require continuing education at this point. But if you want to be better, you want to bring that to your clients, you always want to be improving. Okay, you always want to be improving. So barbering is an educational investment in your future. So be prepared to invest your time and your money. The fourth one is develop the right mindset. You're gonna have to have the right mindset for starting, because you're gonna need it. Be prepared to take in constructive comments, show up dressed, groom, because your presentation does matter. People do look at that. Okay. Treat the school like it's your first job. If you can do that, you're already on the right track to developing a win mindset, a successful mindset. And the last one is plan for your life after graduation. Be in school, do what you need to do in school, but also begin to prepare for what's to come after graduation, because school is just the beginning. So I would like for you to think ahead about your next steps. Are you going to booth rent? Are you going to go into a commission shop? Are you going to start your own business? Build your portfolio. Start collecting your work. Okay. Separate it so you can access it very quickly when you do. We can say great tips. Thank you so much. And then the last one is start networking. Teamwork makes the dream work. You can't do it all by yourself, even though you think you can, or you might presume that you can, but you really can't. All right. So be prepared to network with other barbers. Prayerfully, you'll be able to, maintain your relationship with your instructors. Yeah, because that's a good resource. As a matter of fact, it's a great resource. So utilize that foundation to help you and to support you along your journey. And potential clients are now. Everywhere you are is the potential for a client. Okay. Have your cards on you, have them ready to go, and just be ready. I told y'all I compliment folks. I give them genuine compliments. And when they say I got a barber, oh, well, if you ever need a backup one, if you ever, can't get in, just reach out to me. I got to tell y'all, I was in a grocery store some time ago and was seeing that this lady was looking for something and she couldn't find it. Nonetheless, I stepped up, supported her, helped her out, found what she needed. We got to talking. And I told her, oh, I'm a barber. As a matter of fact, I still had my uniform on, my smock and stuff. And I shared that with her. Reached in my pocket, gave her a card. Guess what? I got the call. Guess what? She's still my client to this day. Anywho, be prepared. Keep your cards on you. Be ready, because your potential for clients is now. Everywhere you are is your potential for clients. So barbering is more than a trade. It's a craft. It's a culture. It's and for many of us, it's a calling. For me, I know it's my passion. I know it's my calling. I just came around to it a little later in life. If you got my book, you hear about the story and how I came back around to it. Let me put that up real quick so y'all will have it here. If you're watching from Instagram, the link is in the bio. If you are watching on YouTube, just scan the QR code. If you're watching from my Facebook page, just scan the QR code. In that is my book. I talk about it being a calling, me coming back around to it. So if you take nothing else from this episode, remember that your barbering journey starts long before your clients sit in your chair. It start way before that. You got to understand your why. You know, you got to know that it's going to take commitment. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some patience. It's going to take the right mindset, and it's going to take you planning for life after graduation, because you're not going to be in barber school forever. All right. At least I hope not. So I just pray that those of you who are considering barbering, that you found something very useful and helpful. Know your why, commit fully, invest wisely, okay? Show up with the right mindset and plan for the future that you want. Once again, know your why. That's going to be very, very important. Commit fully. This field, your schooling, is going to need your full commitment, because like I mentioned earlier, with understanding that commitment, if you don't commit, you don't show up, you losing hours, and in some cases it could affect your financial aid. If you're receiving financial aid, any sort of financial aid, it can affect it. It can and it will affect your schooling, your graduation, and even you getting to take state board. Because if you don't have the hours, you sure not going to take your state board or even be eligible to take your state board. As a matter of fact, your application won't even go in until you got your hours. So take it seriously, understand the commitment, and once again, show up with the right mindset and plan for the future you want. If you found this episode today of value, please subscribe to Female Barber Talk with Yah-Tay. Wherever you listen to this podcast, you watching it on YouTube, or you following me on IG and TikTok and Facebook. Follow me at Yah-Tay the Barber Stylist on those platforms for more real talk tips and tools for barbers at every stage. So I'm going to be giving you some guests. I'm going to be giving you some more tips like this and more segments like this. One, because I'm a teacher at heart. Two, because I'm prepping to become an instructor. So I got to share these things and share my knowledge with you all, not only from my experience as someone who's gone through barbering school, but I've been in a number of different careers. So there are things that I lend to within this industry that I share from other industries, like I shared with y'all about my station, keeping it organized, the presentation of it. I get that from my background in interior design. Okay. Yeah. Anywho, subscribe. Don't forget to like and comment here. And if you want to be inspired by the stories that brought me here, hold on. There you go, right there. Grab your copy of that book right there. Grab y'all copy of my award-winning book, A Heritage of Hair, Living the Legacy of Your Heritage. Yah-Tay says here, thank you for sharing them. Those will benefit so many people in the industry. Thank you very much. I too believe that they will. And as I stated in the beginning of the podcast, these are just 5 things that I believe are important as it relates to considering going into a barbering program. There are many other things. As you saw on the video clips, some of those individuals shared different vantage points of what it's like or what to consider, before starting barbering school, or even when you get in barbering school, what it's going to be like. But nonetheless, these are some things that I thought were very important, informative, and could assist you and or support you with making your decision to go to barber school. And I'm always say this: if you're in high school and you're someone who are considering it and your school offers it, go ahead and get into it, because the cost will be lower. You'll get an extended amount of time to work with your instructors throughout the 2 years, minimum of 3 years, probably maximum if they start your program in your senior year. You'll have that time to not only be with the instructors, but hone in on your skill, build your clientele, and make your mistakes so you can learn the lesson. But also you'll be right there to be able to utilize your instructor right away to help you enhance, hone in on, and just maximize that time. So once again, if you're in school and you're considering it, you're still in high school, see about getting into the vocational program. And if your high school doesn't offer it, yet they bus y'all to another location that does, get into it, because the cost is usually minimum. And as I mentioned before, you'll probably make that money back in tips. Or if you work on the side or cut on the side, you definitely make that money back. Yah-Tay says here, that's very smart. I wish I did that in high school. I always beat myself up for that. It's a smart investment to start in high school. And you know what? They offered it in my high school. I won't give up the reason now why I think I didn't take it, because it is in my book. I talk about it in my book. I won't give that up. But I do wish that I had done it in high school too, as well, Yah-Tay, because they did offer it in high school. I just didn't take it. I would peek down the hallway and look, you know what I'm saying? But I just, I didn't think about it, because that would have helped me out when I went to college. Yeah. But anywho, if you're in high school, your costs would probably be anywhere from $600 to $800. I know it'll be less than $1,000 for sure, unless you got a cutting edge, state of the art school that offer y'all everything within that program. But other than that, the cost will still be minimal. Once you get out of high school and you go to looking into, in our area, Kenneth Schuler, um, uh, 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 Paul Mitchell, at Diversity Beauty and Barber Academy, Your Professional Image School of Barbering. There are many others, but those are ones that I know right offhand. One, because one of them I went to. Two, because my instructor has a school as well. And then the other two, they're just marketed a lot. You see them a lot here. But nonetheless, if you have the opportunity to go while you're in school, take advantage of it, because you're going to save you a lot of money on the back end. Yet the advantage is you'll have that additional time to really hone in on your skills and maximize the connection that you'll have with your instructor to level up your game and build your clientele. All right. Uh, until next time, y'all, that's it. That's it. That's all I got. Stay sharp, keep learning, and honor your craft. Honor your craft by leveling up. All right. I am Yah-Tay Keaton, also known as Yah-Tay the Barber Stylist, your podcast host of Female Barber Talk with Yah-Tay. This has been episode number 31, and it was entitled Before the Clippers, 5 things to know before starting barber school. And once again, it's my hope that you've been able to glean something. If you know somebody that's considering barbering school, share this video with them. Please and thank you. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I said I was going to start doing this. Y'all already know on this channel, we inspire, we connect, we empower. This is more than just, this conversation is more than just clippers. It's more than about clippers. It's more. It's just more. It's just more. And my desire is to bring more. I'm looking into some other professionals. Y'all remember I did the segment with Nakia Berry on therapeutic massage or massage therapy. She says not just feel good and putting the hands on you. It's really good for you because it manually manipulates the muscles. I'm actually trying to get my doctor on who handles my shoes and inserts for me to talk about why your shoes are important, why taking care of your body and having on the right footwear is important to carry you through the industry. So I'm still working on that, and a few other things that I'm working on to get some professionals that can help us be better at our craft within the industry and also take care of our bodies for as long as possible. But nonetheless, stay sharp, keep learning, and honor your craft. I'm Yah-Tay. I'm out, y'all. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next episode.
I am real roots pride. I am real roots love. I am real roots naturals, naturals. I am real roots pride. I am real roots love. I am real roots naturals, naturals. I am real roots pride. I am real roots love. I am real roots naturals, naturals.